The new Studio One 7 is coming out and it has all the integrations you might want and need, including new launcher working with launchpads, but it also has Dolby Atmos, Ableton LINK and Splice integration. So a friend of mine just posted this beautiful song here, and I'm going to challenge Studio One and use tempo detection, stem separation and other new features, including global transposition. This song is sung in Polish, but she also has beautiful songs in English, so I highly recommend you check her out. Ptakowa, she's so underrated. So guys, it's like a remixer dream. I just recorded through loopback Natalia's song and I've got it here. I'm going to drag and drop it into Studio One, and all I have to do now is tempo detect it. So look, I'm right-clicking and choosing tempo detect. It is now done, and all I have to do, I have to go here, uncover the tempo track and drag it here. I'm just checking the marker because now I have a marker here like warp from here marker or start 111 if you're coming from Ableton Live, or it's a hot cue if you're from a DJ environment. And look, it now should work. I'm going to play a second. And it works perfectly. So I've tested it on different jazz recordings, including Cassandra Wilson, Traveling Miles, with only very light guitars and vocals, and it worked perfectly. Every bar was on the spot, so it's quite amazing. Native Instruments introduced some kind of variable tempo detection in their Tractor DJ software quite recently, but this is actually next level. It's much more precise and it actually uses some kind of artificial intelligence. So it's really a remixer dream. Another cool thing you can do now, you can separate stems. So you have to just go here, right click and look for stem separation in audio commands. And I will just go here, separate stems, Ctrl U or Command U on Mac probably. So now you just have to choose what kind of stems you'd like to be separated. I just have vocals and piano here, so I choose vocals and other. And it just takes a very short time for the software to do it because it uses all the power of your PC, so it's great. And I've got my stems separated now. Look, here's my vocal. And the piano. And I guess the quality is on par with what you can expect from Isotope RX and other 4-stem separation software. Now you can also easily transpose all tracks at once. All you have to do, you have to go to the inspector window here, and look for the follow global transpose function. My only complaint was I was trying to do that on all the tracks at once and it didn't work. I guess you have to do it for each track separately. But now what I can do, I can just go here and transpose all my tracks, for instance by 2 semitones down. Works perfectly. With Studio One 7 Pro, you've got Melodyne included. I guess it's essential version, and all you have to do to use it, you have to just right-click it and choose Audio Edit with Melodyne. Yeah, it's that easy. And now Melodyne track is created. Just make sure that you have the proper algorithm chosen, which reflects your version. I've got Melodyne Assistant because I upgraded, so I have to redetect. And now I've got the vocal here. So now it doesn't work with global transpose, I guess. So if I want it to be 2 semitones down, I will just drag it down. Yeah. And let me play it to you now. And now I can do all the stuff, all the format and speech correction I wish. But actually one of the most exciting feature and game-changing for many of us could be Splice integration, because it actually uses some kind of artificial intelligence to recognize the sounds and the timbre. Okay, I'll just show it to you. So all you have to do is to log into your Splice account and then you go and drag and drop sounds from your session. And actually it will look for sounds that actually could match. So let's just say that I'd like to make a drum and bass, drum and bass remix. So I will go with 160 beats per minute. And I am going to look for the sounds in the drum and bass category. Yeah, it looks good now. I look for basses and probably jungle basses. Yeah, let's try those guys here. And this is amazing, because all those sounds seem to actually fit. Look, what's happening here? So it looks for sounds that are in a similar tempo, and it will time stretch it for you, and it will also adjust the tonality. Actually, I like both these guys, so all I have to do, I will just drag them here. So this will pop up, and now, bam, you've got your samples here, and maybe this guy too. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use, maybe this one, and bam, I just have my basses here. Let's listen now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you can repeat it as many times as you like. So now drop a bass and look for piano, then drop piano and look for, a lead sound, etc. So it's amazing. Man, I think I was overloading now. So let me just put a limiter on the last slot and we'll be good to go. But there is more. Studio One 7 now includes so-called Ableton LINK. It's a synchronization protocol that allows you to synchronize, different computers as long as they stay in the same session. It works for Ableton Live, Machine, Akai Force, many iOS apps. Just check Ableton LINK site and you'll see the full list. And now it's Studio One also included. So now I can just launch Machine as a separate app, or I could do that on a separate PC as long as it stays in the same Wi-Fi network. And I can look for, let's say I am looking for some drum and bass stuff, maybe Rolling Ties. So this is the preview. Yeah, let's start with this one. I am going to just turn off some melodic elements and stay with the beats. So now I think I have to change the tempo, but let's stay with this tempo. I am going to, launch Ableton LINK now here. So the link is turned on in the Machine, and now I'm going to Studio One and I'm turning the synchronization here. And among synchronization options, you've got Ableton LINK. So just click it one more time, synchronize start and stop, connect it with one peer, which means my peer is actually, this is my peer. So now I should be able to actually change the tempo in one of the apps. Yeah, let me show it to you. Yeah, let me just change the tempo. Yeah, so I noticed that you can experience lots of glitches when changing the tempo, but once once you set the tempo and you don't change it, then it works perfectly. So it's probably because I'm having a pre-release version and they will fix it soon. But yeah, you just have to make sure you change the tempo and wait a bit. Now I can just start here and start here. And check different drums.
Zabierze mi nas. Boję się, że znikniesz nagle I nie zdążę biegnąć.
You can also load more drums here.
Boję się, że gdy zasnę zabierze mi nas.
Maybe here.
Boję się, że znikniesz nagle I nie zdążę biegnąć. Boję się, że gdy zasnę zabierze mi nas. Boję się, że znikniesz nagle.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool now. Yeah, very cool. So I'm going to do a track now, and let's meet in a few seconds. And one small thing, but maybe important for you, now when you load, multi-out virtual instrument like Machine can have up to 16 virtual outputs. Then you're not getting only those outputs in the mixer, so you not only can, expand it here, so you've got up to 16 separate outs, but also all those outputs are actually being, summed on a Machine bus. So it's very convenient because you can, for instance, send each drum to a separate track and then apply a compressor to all of them because you have a bus automatically created for you. So it's a nice feature. So if you're a Machine user, I've got also good news for you. It's possible not only to launch many instances of Machine within Studio One and have its 16 outs on the mixer, but also we can record MIDI directly from Machine and then edit it in Studio One. It's all possible. So it's very versatile, I guess. So guys, the same way I showed you I looked for samples, I just looked for more samples and I ended up with this simple arrangement I'm quite happy with. And so first I was looking using the artificial intelligence. It actually allowed me to find very cool chords and very nice bass. And actually finding bass was most challenging task. And then when I found nice Rhodes sound like this one, let me show it to you. And by the way, Studio One 7 also has great complete control integration here. So this is pretty cool. So now I'm going to just mute this track because I'm going to show you how I looked for other sounds here. So I just went and looked by the name because I knew my first piano loop has this DSVAKH loop, and then of course those loops were not tonality matched, but it actually allowed me to look for some other cool loops, and I could also set the key here. So this is how it worked out. And as you can see, I tried not to mix this track, and I'm not trying to be modest. I just didn't have time. I wanted you guys to see this work immediately after I finished. So basically, I just put only a few stock plugins here. So if you look here, you'll find Neutron and Deesser and Open Air on the vocal. Compressor on Machine. Machine is not used because I eventually decided to just resample kick, snare and clap from the Machine, and other percussion elements are coming from Splice. And yeah, and then I just put some Open Air and Pro EQ on congas because it was very annoying to have this muddiness in the low mids. And then at the end, I got the limiter and I replaced it with the Flow mastering suite, which is a great plugin suite. I highly recommend it to you. It's not bundled with Studio One. It's a separate Softube product, of course. So, stock limiter. it just feels a little bit more dynamic, open, and slightly brighter, but in a nice way. But I guess the biggest announcement of Studio One 7 is the launcher, and actually it works very similar way to your Ableton Live clip launcher. So look, you just press B on the keyboard and bam, you have this launcher here. You have your clips. So you've got essentially a session view here, but actually I think it's even easier to use and more intuitive because of the way it's laid out, because you have it on one screen and it is interconnected. Very easy solution, I think. Well, it's kind of flipped vertically, but you can go and see it for yourself. So first thing you have to do, you can of course, grab a loop and drop it here. There's no problem. You can do that, but you can also draw a section, and this is the way I'm going to go. So I'm just going to press 5 on the keyboard, and I will draw some sections here. So probably my first section will be 9 bars, and then the other will have 8 bars. And then I can just, go and draw next sections like this. The names pop up automatically, but then you can just double click and change them, of course. There's no problem. Some sections can be longer if you like. It works well. And then when you're finished, you cannot see that probably. So let me just move it here. So then just draw it, and once you're done, you can just click and drag them. And of course, you can correct them here. It works very easily, and check them. Yeah, it seems to work pretty well. Good. Yeah, so I guess I'm finished with drawing. I pressed B on the keyboard. Maybe Alt Z, I think. Yeah, I remember this shortcut. And now I can just drag it here and copy it here. Look, I just copied all my sections here. So like in Ableton Live, I can just go here and launch them like this. Or jump immediately to other sections like this. Of course, you can set quantize, and you also got this playlist here, so you can actually make your own playlist. So you can start, for instance, with chorus, and then you go to scene 2, and then you just go to scene, they're actually empty. So yeah, you can just delete it. And when you're done, you can set how many times you repeat it, like twice, and just go here and play it. And bam, this is your section here. Very, very cool. I just confirmed that very soon you'll be able to launch the clips using Launchpad Mini MK3, Launchpad X, and Pro MK3. And I guess the update should come in the form of firmware update through Novation components. I checked it today, it wasn't there yet, but I guess it soon will be available. And of course, their native Atom controller should work too. Going back to Studio One, you can of course launch clips individually. However, there is no option for, launching it via MIDI. It was a bit disappointing because I thought I could use any controller, and it seems that only those that are working as a control surface will be okay. So, but actually, when you make those cells bigger like this, you can double click them and decide how you'd like to launch them. So each has a separate, separate settings. So you can trigger this one, or you can, for instance, toggle it. So when I press play again, it will just stop. And here, also trigger. So this works really, really nice, and it's quite interesting that they did it that way. So of course you can improvise and make new scenes that way. And when those arrows are pointing to the right, it means that you're working that you're working with the launcher, and when you switch some tracks here, then it will play from the arrangement. So it's very easy. I guess it's much easier than with Ableton Live that way. So it just works. And then you can easily go back to the arrangement if you like. Or back here. Oh, and by the way, there is no limit to the number of scenes or cells, or tracks. So you can have as many as you like, and you can actually make it full launcher here. So this is pretty cool. And of course, you can also make scenes from playing clips. Just press here, add scene from playing clips, and bam. It is just here now. And one interesting thing, when I first recorded it via loopback from the Instagram, I realized that I accidentally cut the beginning. And actually the tempo detection went well. It recognized the beginning, and it was very, very usable now. I just turn on the metronome. But then I thought I will just redo it so I have access to the whole file, and I just did it. I tempo detected it again, but I realized that then Studio One detected it as a constant tempo because it was almost like a perfect loop. I don't know exactly why. So every time you do it, you'd rather leave some kind of silence at the beginning or at the end. I did it somewhere in the middle here, like this. And now, when you look at it, I tempo detect it, and I go here. Now it's perfect again. So it works wonders. So it works really, really, really good. Not entirely new feature, but it's new in Studio One Pro, because now there is only one version. It's called Batch Converter. So what you can do, you can just click Command-C or Control-C on your PC, and then go to Studio One Batch Converter. Then you paste the file here. You can also grab files from your hard drive. Then you press play. And actually, you can process this sound through these plugins. Well, or any other plugins. So we can have 1000 files processed through tape saturation or something like that. It's really useful. It's very nice because normally such tools are quite expensive, and you need a special piece of software. Like I am using Wavelab Pro from Steinberg. I think their batch converter is great, but I guess this one comes really close in most respects. So that's a valuable addition, in my opinion. Cubase has nice offline processing also built in, but this lets you batch process bigger amounts of files at the same time by any plugin. So there are also some other tools like fade-ins, fade-outs, and other stuff like that, normalizing. So you can do it all. And going back now to my project file, I would like to show you one more thing. Look, now you can send loops directly to impact, send to new impact. And if you do that, there is automatically created track here. So you can see it here, and you don't have to use a separate window for these drums, for instance. You have it integrated here. So you can just, make it bigger, make it as big as you like, and it scales very nicely. So it may look like this, like this. It all depends. And basically, there is also a MIDI generated that will let you play this. Let me show it to you. So basically, this loop has been divided into many small parts. You can see here, and actually those parts on the pads are being played through MIDI, like this. And you can see the file here. Very, very cool. One more killer feature of Studio One is built-in Dolby Atmos renderer. So it's very easy to use, and you can easily convert your mixes into immersive ones. You just need a pair of headphones. So just look for a pair of headphones because the music I'm going to present to you is not meant to be listened on speakers. So we'll do a quick comparison between the stereo version and the binaural version. Well, it's not a finished mix. I just moved some delays and reverbs into sends, so I can present it to you, just a couple of them, because it's not fully mixed. So all you have to do, you have to go to the song setup and general spatial audio, then you're choosing Dolby Atmos. You have to set the frequency to 48 or 96 because this is the technical requirement, and then you're good to go. I'm going to present you one of the sounds first, so let's listen to this synth. And this synth has this open air binaural, Dolby Atmos reverb. So let's listen in stereo first, and then I'll switch to binaural mode. So I guess you could immediately hear that the space is much bigger, much denser, it's wider, but it just kind of seems more immersive. So let's listen to the full example now. Yeah, the stereo version.
Stracić cię z krawędzi ust, że mógłbyś więcej już nie trafić do oczu mych i płuc. Boję się, że znikniesz
So basically you can hear it in like every part of this track.
nagle i nie zdąży być na czas. Boję się, że gdy
And there are many ways to mix in Dolby Atmos. You can also convert all those so-called bad tracks into so-called objects, and then you can move them around. So I just did that with the vocal. It is now an object, so I can just go here and move it.
Boję się, że znikniesz nagle i nie zdąży być na czas. Boję się, że gdy zasnę, ktoś zabierze mi nas.
So it's quite amazing, actually. So I guess it's very cool to have this possibility to make a stereo mix and then convert it to Dolby Atmos, or you can start making a Dolby Atmos mix and it will convert automatically into stereo. You have to just check compatibility, and yeah, it's quite amazing because now we can enjoy, this immersive sound on headphones, and some statistics say that 80% of the music is listened through headphones. So actually, we have access to this technology, and it's amazing. As you can see, I'm now editing the video, and I realized there are some other features I haven't mentioned. For instance, a CV instrument. If you've got an analog modular, it's probably thing you would use. There is a new virtual instrument, it's called Deep Flight 1. Well, it's not entirely new, but it was not included in Studio One Pro earlier, I guess. There's a lead architect instrument, there is a clap plugin and special formats so you can exchange your sessions. And there are some drag and drop enhancement and other stuff. Just go on the site and see for yourself. But the question is, should you try Studio One? I would say definitely yes. There are different factors that makes people choose certain DAW. Usually, people are attracted to controllers. So seeing people playing from Ableton Push or Machine or other equipment probably makes some people instantly want this push thing. Other thing is that also Presonus has nice controllers. They have Atom, but maybe they should expand the list now. Now that they have launcher, maybe there should be a special, launcher controller. I think it's coming. I don't know, but I think it's coming. It should be coming. I don't know. At least it would be my future request. The other factor is if you're already starting out and you've got a friend that already works in FL Studio, then you've got a free support. You can call your friend and ask how to do this, how to do that. So probably you should be choosing FL Studio because you're making music together and you can ask your friends. So choose FL Studio. But judging purely by functionalities, by features, this is probably the best DAW right now. I guess no other DAW actually comes close to this feature pack. Dolby Atmos, this stamp separation, tempo detection, next level tempo detection as they call it. There are so many improvements. Of course, their price strategy might seem a bit controversial. And actually for Pro 6 Pro version users, I would be a little bit angry that artist users get the same price, and it's $150 for the upgrade. So it's a bit steep maybe for a 6 Pro user, but actually they're adding a lot of stuff here. So they made a decision, and you may like it or not, but actually for this feature pack, I would probably pay. Yeah, I got the software for free. I mean, I got the upgrade for free, but I think I would pay because it's really attractive. So it's just up to you. So the new clients are paying just a little bit more, and the price is amazing. It's amazing pricing. $200 for this kind of DAW. It's pretty unheard of. So there are a few glitches, and I would have a few feature requests. For instance, this Ableton LINK thing doesn't work that smoothly. Sometimes I notice that clips appear in the upper row and not in the place they should be. But then if you reset or reload the session, it disappears. I also detected that if you tempo detect a loop, sometimes it detects it as a constant tempo loop. So just add some silence at the beginning or at the end, or cut the loop, so it's not a perfect loop, and then it will recognize the tempo perfectly, and it works really well. So Launchpad integration is not there yet. I couldn't show it to you. So there are a few things to be improved, but overall it's a great software, and it's super stable. I have to mention that because I'm a teacher in Poland. Poland is not a big country and not the richest probably, and I couldn't afford to make a living just teaching one program. Just Ableton teacher, no way. So I have to be proficient in a few DAWs at the same time. So I have to be Studio One Pro hard user. I have to be Ableton hard user. I have to know Machine very well. I have to work with FL Studio because there are lots of people using FL Studio in Poland, and I've got Reason on my PC. I've got it all, But I think Studio One will. I have trouble saying it in English. I think Studio One is becoming my favorite DAW right now, so I will be switching for mixing to Studio One definitely, because it's super stable. I have the same set of plugins, and for instance, Ableton Live crashes much more often than Studio One. Studio One crashes like very occasionally. Same with Cubase. Cubase is also very stable. So yeah, it's just great. It's just great. So if you like what I did, just support me by subscribing for now. Maybe I will launch some things in my Patreon later. I don't know. But if you liked it, just write a comment. I'm very curious what you think. So see you. Bye-bye.